What up, dog?
What's up, buddy? Oh, hold on. I can't show that board behind me. So I have to what is it? Can it blur behind me or something? What does it do? Oh, look at me. I'm twinkling now.
You could find something. I can't read the board behind you, though. If you turn your phone a bit. Or you don't want to show the other. Oh, that board. Oh, that board.
Yeah, I can't show
I thought
that
you
board.
meant the door. Let me see.
No. I'll just do this.
Yee! Yo, you gotta update the people on Legends, man. I know you've been working hard.
Oh, man, there's fucking so much crazy shit right now for Legends. Yeah.
But what are you allowed to share? What did you share?
I'll probably, I think a bunch of stuff. So the hours. So this one will be, the first night will go from 5 p.m. until midnight. So it's longer for the first night. And then the second one will be, second day is from 11 a.m. until I think 6 p.m. So it's pretty good, pretty good 6-7 hours each day, 8 hours each day, which is good. And then what else?
More makers this time, right?
Yeah, 40 makers. So there'll be 40 makers total. The way we're doing it, the first day is the 40 makers and their guests are the only judges. So that group, the guys that are entering are the judges. So the first day and the second day, there are attendees there's attendees that are coming with the makers and their guests for the first day, and they'll get to be there on the second day. And there's a total of 150 guests that'll be 2-day guests. Then there's 100 brunch guests additional that come the second day along with the additional 150 guests. So it's kind of cool. It's we break it up. The first day, the additional 70 guests, those guys are mainly makers that weren't invited to be, in the contest because we want them to get to see the experience and kind of be a part of it. Half of the 100 people that are coming the second day are also makers that we want to be, present. We want them to see what it's all about, get them to check it out. So we're inviting a lot of makers to the event. So a lot of makers are going to get to come. Only 40 makers are going to get to compete and be a part of the contest. But we think it's important to make sure that makers get to go and check it out and be there. That's really what this is about, is Hashmakers. So have them there. There's 3 different categories this year. We're adding dry sift. So, and we know that, that it's quite, it's not easy to make dry sift. It's not easy to make it at that volume and do all that stuff too. So we know that it's going to be a little challenging, but we think there'll be maybe 2 or 3, me and Marcus are talking. There might be 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3.
I was trying to think of how many entries I know there will be from people, and then I'm trying to figure it out. But
you're able to enter up to 2 entries. So you can, and there's 3 options. You can enter rosin, water hash, or dry sift. So that's how we know we're hoping. We think most people will enter 2. There's no extra charge for them to enter 2. Their ticket price for makers and their guests are the same price as last year. We keep it super affordable for them because they're the ones that are putting up the hash, so we understand. So it's,
Can you talk about the evolution of the judging of Legends and how it was done and how you're doing it and how you kind of modernized it and what you've done with it? Because I think you've done a really good job.
Yeah, so originally Legends was always based on the way it was judged was whatever that was brought to Legends, that was placed out, that everyone got to consume. Whatever was gone first was the winner of Legends. And, there was some opinion that got involved in it, but that was mainly the way that it was done. And that was based on the pilgrimage that Legends is based on. And, it's a consumption-based event. We did it last year and did it that way, and we felt like that sort of doesn't fit the U.S. model very well because our makers want to judge. They want to, give you their opinion on everything. They're experts, they're makers, and we wanted to give them that liberty. We think that you're if you take that away from them, it sort of makes it where it's a little tougher for them to be able to measure or understand, and we wanted it to be fair. That's one of the main things too that we wanted. So we wanted them to be subject to one another's opinions, and we wanted it to be fair. So we decided to add 4 points of judging. How does it look? How does it taste? How does it smell? And final point of judging is going to be, what does the nail look like afterward? So those 4 simple ones we think are kind of like the easiest. There'll be 10 points for each. Those 80 guests will be the judges. So the maker and their guest, and then there'll be 5 more additional judges. So there's 85 total judges that are judging, and there's a lot of hash. So it's 80 entries. With that, those sort of guidelines are just, I could imagine what that's going to look like. It's, people bring their best, and then it's, we're giving people plenty of time in advance. We wanted to coordinate with Emerald Cup. So we've been coordinating with them. We just kind of been doing it behind the scenes. And then in the conversations with them, they actually came to us, and looks like 800 will be working with Emerald Cup to put together the hash judging for this year.
Oh,
so it's kind of like another thing that we haven't really talked about yet, but in the process, because we're close with those guys. We have like a very close relationship with them through one of our mutual friends who's very connected there too. So, but they came to us and said, hey, we don't really. We know shit and hash is always changing, and we know solventless hash especially is evolving quickly. So they're like, we love what you guys are doing. We think that you guys are on the edge of what's going on with all this, and we see that you're doing Legends, and we wanted to see if you guys would be willing to talk with us. So we're going to talk with them some more and offer 800 and offer what we do to. And I think it'll probably use a lot of what I learned from Taylor. Taylor made me a judge for Emerald, and so probably just be using a lot of that, and probably talking to Taylor, and
800 built an app-based rating system for hash competitions, right?
Yeah, for Ego. So we did it for Ego Clash. So 800 was hired to come in and help Ego Clash, and that's kind of like how we got our chops at 800, was working with Ego Clash. We helped them put together. The year that we worked with them, when they were on the bigger ranch with like the wine, with the cave and stuff. The second year there, we helped them organize the event. We helped them, worked with Brandon. He hired 800. We came in, digitized the judging stuff. But that year we weren't able to use it because they didn't have internet up there. So, and no one really had service, so it was kind of tough. So then that was where Chemo, who worked with 800, the second year went to Brandon, and he's the one that implemented the program that we created. It's really simple. It was a Google survey that we put together that was the judging. So it was really simple. It was done on Google. Anyone can do it. It's not super hard. But it was, cool. Put that together, did that for them. This one for Legends will all be on a blockchain. So Legends, the other cool thing about Legends this year, so Kevin and I worked for the year working with a group that owns a blockchain. They built the whole entire thing, have their own coin, have their own DAO. It's called Turp DAO, and it's there's a whole coin for the whole thing, and it's pretty cool actually. Actually a cool whole cannabis-based blockchain, which is pretty dope. And we've worked with those guys. So what we decided to do was for Legends, we're going to launch the NFT platform for Legends using their group and working with them as one of the sponsors for the event. So all of the judging, all of the ticketing, every ticket to the event will be an NFT that people will get. They'll also have the option. Everything's done on the phone. So your ticket will be on your phone, and then all of your access to the bar will be on your phone using that same ticket, which will be the NFT that you have. So it's all sort of centralized in one place. With everybody, and update everybody on everything, and bring everything together into the community that we have on Discord and all that cool stuff. So every single person that plans on attending Legends, if you're thinking about it right now and you possibly think you're going to get invited, you have to download a Kepler wallet. So that's going to be the basis of everything we do, will be through that Kepler wallet. So if you're thinking about it, if you have the tingling in your balls that you're going to get invited, go download that Kepler wallet now and get a bit familiarized with it, get it set up so that way you'll be able to get stuff in. And I see some people are putting suggestions for makers. Please do. Like Jameson will be able to show me that stuff later. We're not done figuring out all 40 makers. So we have 25 makers from last year that are coming back. I think maybe 23 of those makers have committed to come back loosely. So we have to go through, confirm that those guys are coming back. Once we know that, then we'll release the list of the additional, 16 or 17 makers. We're extending the list this year to the East Coast. We're extending it to other states. We just tried to kind of focus on California, Pacific Northwest, and other stuff last year. So we'll have some Colorado makers this year, have some other guys in it. So it'll be a pretty big list. 40's quite a bit to us. So we're stoked. And then you and I have been talking about a platform where what we're going to do is from here on out on Melting of the Heads, or sorry, no, I can't even remember because there's so many things we're doing. On Between Two Heads, we'll be interviewing. What we're going to start doing is talking with some of the guests for Legends. So we're going to kind of incorporate the two, use the two. I mean, these are our platforms. So the idea is to, as me and you have been talking about, incorporating those platforms. Banyan, your company is going to be working with us on post-production stuff with us for Legends. I'm going to be working with you on more of the Melting of the Head stuff, it looks like. So we've got some cool shit, man. This one's going to be fucking bigger, crazier. Second day, we'll have the brunch. And then because it goes till 6 at about 4 o'clock or so, about 3 o'clock, we'll have some, snack food kind of trucks that'll come in. So we'll have first day will be show up. The makers will get their kits, all 3 different categories in them. The rest of the people who enjoy hash the entire time is all open bar model. So you'll walk up to the bar with your phone and your QR code. They'll scan it. That will tell the bar exactly where you're at in your queue for getting all of your samples to yourself. They'll give you that stuff. You just have an open bar. You just go up and keep scanning your phone. They give you the next stuff. So.
The judges' kits, are they on ice or how are you? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, judges' kits are on ice. So everything's on ice. So that's how this works. So all of the samples from the date that every entry comes in to the date that it's being given to the actual participant or the attendee, everything's in large open-top freezers. So we store everything in freezers. Everything's transported in freezers, literally in the back of trucks, in freezers to the venue. We do everything that way to make sure that everything stays fresh. The integrity of the product. We want to make sure that when people are opening a jar of melt, it's melt, and they get to see it that way. The makers will get their boxes. It's a really beautiful. We have a really great relationship with Calyx Containers. So Calyx does our judges kit for us. It's a beautiful, well-built hat box, and it opens up. It's magnetic. It'll have the Calyx trays in it. You have all 3 of your trays with all of your entries in them, and again, there's only 45 of those kits. If you really want to experience Legends and fucking Legends is all about the maker. So if you really want to experience Legends and get the full fucking red carpet, you have to be a maker and you have to be invited, and that's how you get the full experience. Everybody else gets to sort of they get to enjoy it. They get to see what it is. They get to kind of get a taste of it. And even attendees, you got to understand, Legends has never had attendees. So now there's people that are there. How do those people, how do they interact? How do they get to enjoy it? And that's where we came up with the idea. This year, everything will be in half grams. There'll be no quarter grams this year. And everyone, we curate and build an experience for you guys where everyone gets to enjoy it.
Everything's half gram? No quarter gram?
Everything's half gram. Everything's half gram this year. Yep.
That's
crazy. one
what
jar.
About phones?
You'll have phones this year too. So you'll need your phone in order to get in the door. You need your phone in order to get to the bar. Everything is on that phone. So your phone is really important for the event. We want people to be posting. We want our sponsors to get as much, stuff for themselves there and get all that stuff. Zoom Gardens will have an area that's built out for him. This is kind of a cool experience. We'll have a table that's set up where the heady rigs can come in and get set up and people can take dabs, overhead view. Right next to that, he's going to have his own area where he'll have his track for photography. We want him doing photography on all. So every one of the entries into Legends, all 80, will have Zoom photography done on all of them. So he'll stay for a couple extra days. We have a studio built out for him so that he can use. We have a bedroom upstairs that'll be all, his track will be set up and he can run his whole entire thing in there for a couple days. He usually comes and stays with us for a while anyway, so that's perfect. And then my house kind of works as a command center for the whole thing. We've got a big 4-bedroom house that 800's in, where we have the offices, and we have extra bedrooms here. It's a big place. So we have that set up. The gym will have the freezers in it. Last year it was 2 freezers. This year it'll be 4 freezers. Everything's kept fresh. Everything's the food will be carousel once again, so we'll have another huge Lebanese dinner, and then we're going to have 2 different caterers for the second day for brunch. There's a caterer that is specifically does brunch, so it'll be like a really fucking dope-ass brunch connected to a major bakery in Los Angeles, and then the second catering will be, that bakery. It'll be like a full bakery experience in the whole entire city. So it's really high-end food, great food the whole time. And then we'll have, like I said, like from 3 to 6 for the second day on Saturday, there'll be some food trucks that come in, and that'll be more like, mochi and snacks, just snacks and shit like that people can have. Because we want to have first day, everyone comes, makers get their kits, then their guests get to go up and use the bar. Then the 70 additional guests show up, they get to use the bar. We have a massive sesh that then goes into
Are you going to do fruit like last time?
Yeah, so there's a whole station. There's a whole setup station. We had one last time. This one will be much more prominent. It'll be like a Moroccan tea bar that'll have tea consistently. It'll have iced tea there. It'll have water there. It'll have fruit there, and it'll have honey. And that's the offering table. We're thinking right by that we'll have, all of the entries and everything will be out under lights so everyone can look at everything, pick it up, kind of check it out and smell it. You can't dab out of that stuff. That's for photography, so we have to kind of keep it protected. Then we're going to do the first day you get to go up. Everyone sits down, they get their kits. We have a big sesh. Then we go into dinner. After dinner, there's a mothership drop. Mothership's doing they're doing a custom mothership design for Legends of Hashish. So I haven't even seen it yet. It'll probably be like crazy Moroccan hash smoking insanity. But Deppy's dedicating that to this one, which would be cool. We're doing some crazy marketing with those guys. The drop will be available before the event. Some pieces in the drop will be available before the event. Those pieces, if you purchase those pieces, you'll get a ticket to Legends. So you get to actually come to Legends, pick your piece up, and you get a ticket to Legends that goes along with that, which is, like a probably roughly like that.
So you can buy a ticket to Legends.
You can buy a ticket to Legends. You'll get to go to that. You'll get to check out that drop beforehand. So we'll do it. We're doing that with them. We're going to do that with a couple other companies that are sponsors of the event. They have the ability to raffle off a ticket. So there'll be some people that get to come to Legends for the brunch. That will be from the marketing angle. That will be like, for that stuff. Because we want people to kind of get stoked out and just be like, what the fuck? Yeah. So we have some pretty big sponsors. We're talking with 710 Merch. We're talking with, Banger Basket. We're talking with a bunch of big companies. Lot Comedy is the artist that we're doing for this one. So he'll be there doing a full installment. There'll be some drops along with him and some other makers. We're encouraging any maker, any person that's involved with us, that's coming to Legends, that's a part of it, that's invited. If you have a brand, you should time your drops along with this. You can do your drop at the event if you want. We're just kind of opening it up in that community kind of a way where it's like, hey, let's coordinate together. If you've got a mood map drop or something crazy for your brand and you want to do it with us, we're more than open to work with you guys to do that. We'll have 250 people there, so it's a pretty good audience for that as well. I think we're pretty close to finishing the judges list. Like, we know who the makers are going to be. I just have to like move some stuff around and figure that stuff out there. But so the first day will be mothership drop. Then we'll have the dinner before that. Then you get the mothership drop. Then you just sesh into the night. Everyone leaves at midnight, and then you come back the next day at 11 o'clock for brunch. Everyone comes in for brunch. We're finishing up the judging at that point. It's all in real time, so we're able to actually get like real-time understanding of the judging, which is cool. And then we'll do brunch. Then after brunch, we'll do a big sesh. After the sesh, we'll do the awards. After the awards, we do another, sesh to end it off to end the night out. So
when do you have to have all your votes in by?
All of the judges that are judging the event will have all their stuff in, I think, by it has to be by the end of the brunch. So it'll be like 1 o'clock. We'll have all the judging done by like 1 o'clock. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So there's 80. We think there'll be up to 80 entries. So it's should be interesting. 45 judges, 80 entries. It could be under 80 entries. We'll see what happens, but
it'll be interesting to see how many of the one day people are morning smokers. I guess they'll all be if they're
it's 11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock.
So it's 11 o'clock to 6.
Yeah. That's
you
awesome.
Get you get 7 hours of smoking, which is
man, I'm so excited.
It's indoor, outdoor. We have a full outdoor area. The outdoor area is where the booths will be. There's no booths inside except for motherships and then a lounge, and then a couple other, things that we have there that'll be inside. So it's, we want the inside to be more comfortable for seating and just relaxing. And, it's Legends is all about catered, it's all catered to. You get to chill, best hash, best people. It's like the, 120U heads, along with all the best hash and the best people and great fucking food. And, we're talking to Fidel as a sponsor. We're talking to, Mills is one of our major sponsors, highly educated. So they'll be there with some of their new products, Show and Seed to Soul. I think Hashtech, we're talking with those guys about sponsors. So we have like a pretty crazy Agritech, pretty crazy list of like some big sponsors that came to us. So we're pretty stoked on that. So just, and we're careful about who we allow to sponsor. We don't let companies sponsor that are like cheese dick, fucking Chad bitch ass, weird, kooky, fucking goofy, creepy. Just no, like none of that goofy shit. And it's more about like, we want to let sponsors in that are new companies that are, good people that are trying to market their stuff to hash makers and hash consumers. And, we're talking to a bunch of different smaller companies, obviously good friends of ours like Clean Pump. And, we got every single swab sponsor and their mom has come to us. So there's so many swab sponsors now, but they're all friends and they're all good dudes. We're trying to figure out a way to, let everybody be involved somehow. And cause we have, there's gift bag sponsorships, there's product sponsorships for the event. There's, 70U sponsorship, there's 90U sponsorship, 120U sponsorship. So there's a presenter, award presentation, stage sponsorship, and there's 2 lounge sponsorships for the event as well. So the deck's done. We were going to put it out on Monday. We decided to just adjust it a little bit. We'll have it out to everyone on Monday this week. So by the end of the day on Monday, everyone should have a sponsorship deck. And then we have a pretty crazy deadline because we have to lock in a whole bunch of stuff for this. So we'll have a deadline for the sponsorship stuff, and we'll get this shit rolling. So it'd be cool.
That's fucking awesome. What, who's the like ideal maker for Legends, for people wanting to nominate people? Like, is it somebody that's in market? Is it anybody? Like, what if you were to tell the public, like, who should be nominated?
It's tough because I'm not a maker, so some people are like, who the fuck are you to get to decide? And it's like, so I take more of that from like Marcus and what Marcus has done in the past and who Marcus invited and what Legends really was about. And it's really about the new makers, the old makers, the smugglers, the breeders, the growers. That's really who it's about. It's about like the characters that make up the the culture and that community. So for us, it's when it comes to like who's the ideal maker, it could be, you know, somebody that's been around, that's you've watched this company mature and you've watched this company put the consumer first, and you've watched, you know, it's those guys. It's guys that have either pushed the tech or pushed, you know, the marketing or pushed different stuff. I mean, you may see some people on that list that are just very good at marketing and they're very strong marketed companies. And some people may be like, well, that's not the best hash maker. And it's like, well, no, because a hash maker has to exist in a market.
Yeah.
So if a hash maker's not good at marketing, then are they really, you know, because that guy's going to win too, you know? So we want to have, you know, you'll see some companies that are really well marketed, that are just strong in that place, that have gotten good at making better hash too and doing that. And you'll see some guys, you'll see that are relatively new makers that are just, that we think a lot of other makers will give nods to new guys sometimes, and they'll be like, oh shit, I tried this and I love it. Those are the guys that we're like, oh, okay. You know, there's a lot of peer review that goes on with this whole thing. Like, we're constantly in contact with a lot of the makers. A lot of them are friends of ours, you know, for years and years and years. So we have guys reaching out to us. We talk to guys. We have a consortium of those makers that we do work with and know, and the guys we talked to last year and respect. So, you know, we always take what they have to say in mind, you know, when they hit us up and go, hey, I don't know if you fucking met this dude, but, and then there's, you know, the guys that are campaigning, you know, they want their brand to be recognized. They have a confidence in what they're making and they want it to be seen more. Some of those guys, you know, we haven't heard of them, but they'll be invited. We'll invite them as guests to be there at the event. We want them to see how it goes, and we want them to be in the room. And it's really about, like, there's no VIP area. There's no like exclusion at Legends. It's all open. Yeah. So you could sit right next to
VIP itself. It is the VIP area.
Yeah. I mean, the whole fucking party's the VIP area technically, but there's no ropes separating. You know, you can walk up to any table and be like, hey man, I fucking love your stuff. And that's what it's designed in that way. So you're in this like crazy room of all these crazy people with all of these indulgences, with all these, you know, the best fucking tea and the best honey and the best hash and the best fruit and the best food and the best people, and really just kind of, you know, and the other thing that's big about it for us too is that a lot of these guys don't have this opportunity to do this. Like, they make hash all day. They fucking have to figure out their marketing. They have to figure out their fucking sales and distro. They have to figure out their fucking equipment. They're figuring out supply chain things. They're figuring out fucking material equipment things. And they don't have a lot of time to like, just relax and take a break and get fucking pampered. Because that's really what it's about. It's like, it's a very pampering experience. So the second day ticket, that will be 90 tickets will be for the second day. Those tickets will be $325, which is kind of a pretty good deal. I think that's like we made sure we priced it in a way where we actually worked up like huge, dry erase boards, and we're like, okay, this person, where's the added value? What are they getting? What are they leaving with? What's options do they have while they're there? And we wanted to make sure that each person had a shitload of value. So we feel like at $325 for the second day, you come in, you get an amazing fucking brunch. You get to sesh. There's a bunch of companies there. There's gift bags. There's everything, and it's an open bar for hash. You get to just smoke as much hash as you can actually fucking ever. I've seen a lot of hash get smoked, and I think that's like what it's about. It kind of blows your mind where you're like, this is fucking crazy. And you're going to leave with a head stash. You're going to have a fucking blast. You'll have a great time. So we wanted to make sure the value is really there. We didn't add any cost to the tickets for the makers compared to last year to this year. We just doubled it because it's 2 days. So we really try to make sure that we lower as much cost as possible for makers. We know they got to fly out. We know they got to fucking hire people to package. There's so much shit that they're doing, and we wouldn't have the event without them. They're so important to it and critical to it. So, and they're putting up quite a bit of hash to share with everybody and have a good time. So we, great food, everything. The tickets for, what is it? For first day. So if you're a first day, second day attendee, those tickets, there's 70 of those tickets. Those will be $600. So it's $300 per day instead of the $325.
Let's just be very clear. This is an invite-only event. These tickets are not available anywhere online, and it's just that if you get the opportunity to purchase one, that is what it costs, because it costs money to put on the event. In the past, it was done differently, but in reality and today, it costs money to put on these events. So
yeah, and if anyone has an opinion about that, I completely, I commend them for having an opinion, but at the same time, I think that if the opinion's negative, I think you're not taking into consideration, what you get for the event, how it's put together, where it is, everything. It's, the valet parking will be sponsored and taken care of. We're doing all these things to make sure that this is well valued.
I see the value. Like, I don't think there's any need for defensive value. For one day at Hall of Flowers in Toronto, it's $700 US. So, I don't think that there's any defense. I think that, you need to look at, the criticism that you're going to receive is, oh, well, it's private and I want to go. And you have to understand that, guys like me, like I'm so blessed. I do get to go, but I also was inspired by, Legends and created Melting of the Heads. And now Melting of the Heads is open to the public. It's not an invite only. It is, the tickets go on sale. There are X amount of tickets. Once they're sold, but there's no, you can have the opportunity to purchase them. They're open to the public. And so I think that, we might end up working Melting of the Heads in as a feeder program to Legends, where, if you win Melting of the Heads, you automatically get invited to Legends. But I mean, let's see more of these events, right? Like, let's build up this where it's not just looking at one and going, why is it invite only? It's like, okay, well, let's emulate this and create feeders into it.
Yeah, you may see some of the Melting of the Heads guys at Legends. So definitely. There's no part of me that feels like the value's not there, because we took care of all that. We made sure that that's there, and we understand that the economics of everything and how it works. And we fully understand too that it's like, there's only so many tickets, and it's more about like, hey, if you get the option to buy a ticket, it's an option. You can buy the ticket. You can go to the event. You can enjoy yourself. It's not a lot of people that are going to get that option. It's a real small, highly curated list of people. I know 250 people sounds like a lot of people, but when you're looking at the hash community and the cannabis industry, and national, I wanted to invite some Canadians, right? So I just felt like it was unfair to put the burden of this on Canadians and say, hey, like, hey, you're invited to Legends now break the law, and fucking do all these things. And look, that is part of Legends, right? Because that's, some guys are getting invited from different places, but I didn't feel comfortable, and I'm still not sure. We might invite some brave, crazy Canadians, but I just didn't want to, I didn't want to put anyone in that position and be like, if something fucking happens, what I mean, dude? And it's just a lot to kind of worry about. So there'll be some Canadian companies for sure, no question. There'll be Canadians there, definitely. I mean, we've got some people we're inviting. We want to make sure are with us, but it's kind of like, this is the time. I always joke that this is the time of year when everybody likes me. Everyone's like, hey, bro, like super nice, and that's nice. That's a good thing. But I know why people are being nice to me. I understand. So but it is all purposely done in this way. Like, it's marketed this way. It's put together this way. It's built this way to make you want to go to this thing. That's all of this is done by purpose. That's why Mothership's involved. That's, all these things are there purposely done by design, using a mechanism to make people want to go. And that's kind of what's rad about the whole fucking thing is Mike will be there. So Mike, I'll just invite you right now, because I can't do Legends without Mike. So Mike, I see you, buddy. We'll see you there at Legends for sure. But yeah, it'll be fun, man. And I hate to exclude anyone, and that's why I love the fact that you did bring up the point where, Melting of the Heads is public. Other events are public. And that's kind of, those events are completely different than Legends. Legends is like fucking Disneyland Dubai for hash makers. That's how you have to think about it, So we're curating it in a way that it is that, that's how it's put together. I see people are offering to chauffeur me. I don't need a chauffeur. I don't need a chauffeur, but I know I want to, but that's why we did 100 people for the second day, because there is room for people to get to go. There's actually room for, like, if there's a lot of people that are like, man, I love hash and I smoke solventless all day and I follow every maker and I'm about this life. Before, Legends wasn't really for them. Legends was for the makers, and people are like, oh shit, I want to go. Now we're trying to include them and trying to get a ticket out to those guys so they can go and go, fuck, I want, Legends. If you go to Legends and it works correctly, it makes you want to be a maker. It makes you be like, oh fuck, I want to, yeah, this is the life, it's an introduction to that life, kind of, in a sense. It's what we're trying to curate and create, is that like experience where if you're not a maker and you go, fuck, you'll invest in a hash lab. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, this is fucking, I'm about it now, So yeah, but it'll be fun.
I mean, it's important. It's culture. It's like, and I love that there are phones there. I love that you're leaning into documenting and kind of like letting me help with that. Like we have to like take what was in the shadows and fucking expose it, put it out there and celebrate it, because if we're not putting it out there, then other people can put it out there to criticize us about it. But if we're putting it,
the other thing too is, like, in our industry, especially in the hash end of things, for some reason the word monetize is a dirty word. But if you don't monetize these things, you can't do them in grand fashion. Yeah. You can't do this event in grand.
Money. Alcohol events make money. We need to have events make money, and then we'll have more cannabis events, because alcohol events make money, and there's lots of them.
Yep. Deppy's helping make sure that we have Buck and, Eugene and, the top big glass guys will be there too. So we want to make sure we'll have like big breeders there, big growers there, big, funny story about the big growers. So I reached out to a bunch of these big flower growers that are in California that are like the major fucking, you name the brand. And like, we reached out to those guys. None of them responded. Not a single response from any single one of them. And these are guys that like we work with in other channels, because we help with some biz dev on a lot of the collaborations for Holy Water, and it's just some different shit that we do for like Holy Smokes. So we know them. I have DMs from fucking every one of them. We communicate, and I reach out and I'm like, hey, we're doing Legends. I'd love to, like, if you guys want to sponsor or do something. They're flower companies, I mean, they have a reason to be there. Crickets. Not a single one of them responded. And I'm like, what are they, like, fucking washing their Rolls Royce right now? Like, they're too busy to fucking, like, what are these guys doing right now? But that's a weird thing. But I think that part of that sector of our industry is more like cool guy, like, it's more like, they'll hit you the night of the event and be like, you got a ticket, player? You're like, whoa, hold on now.
100%.
There's an alleyway, but,
I mean, I'm surprised that it hasn't been emulated on the flower side more, where there's...
I think they do. They do ZA Olympics and stuff like that.
ZA Olympics.
Yeah. There's stuff like that. There's cool things like that are like very flower driven, that are dope as shit.
That's true.
And yeah, so like the top like 5 guys in ZA Olympics did not respond when we reached out to them. So the flower dudes are like, nah, we don't. I think what it might be too is like, there's a funny part of me that was like, you know what it is? Those flower dudes can't hang, bro. They'll get in that hash room and they'll die. They won't. Because smoking weed is cool, but doing 80 fucking dabs.
Yo, you gotta be good with you to do 80 fucking dabs.
Bro, I've said this before. You can take Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, The Game, I mean, pick your fucking I'm the biggest weed smoker rap dude in the world, and I'll put that fucking dude to sleep in 6 dabs. Good night, sleep, fucking looking for fucking Pedialyte, 6 dabs, done. Like and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like any one of us that dabs,
It's
like
true.
It's true.
It's true.
6 dabs, and none of those dudes I just named would be past dab number 3. None of them. Not a fucking soul. They wouldn't have the lung capacity to do it. They haven't trained to do this, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll even say this too. As much as I love Action Bronson, same thing. Can't sit there and do fucking 10 dabs in a row. No. That's because that's not your job. That's not what you do. This is what we do. Like, we strip paint from fucking cars, dude. Like, this is what we do. Like, this is just, and that's who's in the room. So that's kind of one of the other things too, is like, that's who's in the room, is dudes who can fucking dab, who love hash, who, you know, might have a fucking bubble bag tattoo on their back. Like, I don't know. Like, these are fucking dudes who really love hash, who are like, you know, growers, breeders, guys that have been in the scene forever. So it's just a celebration of that, man. It's fucking fun as shit. So I'm looking forward to it. It's the most hash I've ever seen. It's gotten to the point now where I don't even want to talk about how much hash is there. Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's not even there was a lot of hash smoked at Moth, but I mean, the lungs that are going to be in that room are like crazy compared to the lungs that were at Moth. Like,
so we'll have media there. So we'll have Sensi Magazine will be there. Bearded Brothers will be there. We'll have our own capture there for media stuff too. So yes, we're bringing in. You know, I got reached out to by a pretty big company. The owner of the company reached out to me last year and wanted to go to the event, and we just like, you know, I was like, it's not a good fit. I still don't think that we'll invite them this year, just because it's just not a good fit. It's more, I look at that person wanting to go to the event more about like them getting to show that they got to go to Legends on their social media is more, you know, that has value over what we're doing. And I'm just like, no, I'm not. That's not what this is about. It's not about like, there's no clout chasing at fucking Legends. Like, it's not. That's not what the gig's set up for. So we're trying to kind of make sure that it's not, you know, someone's fucking storyline or some other bullshit. So
yeah, for sure. No, I think you've done a good job. You're doing a good job. Like, I love the layout of it. I love the brunch aspect of it. I love the idea of like, we go late into the night, hash, figuring out where everyone is, and you can wake up in the morning and you can determine like your narrow down. You know, that's what it's about.
Yeah, we had a meeting today about the times, and it was like, look, you can't fucking have everyone leave at midnight and then expect them to be back the next day at 11. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, I've seen these dudes go to bed at fucking 3 a.m. and then wake up they're taking dabs at 7 a.m. Like,
yeah. I'm like, that's like, for sure. We're going midnight 11. We'll be there.
Yeah, it's like, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the second day. People that work with us will be. Some of them won't be there the first day, so we'll have like a fresh crew in the morning.
Oh, true, perfect.
Yeah, that can kind of help. So that, and then we'll be announcing. We're gonna do 5 volunteers that are gonna work with us. So there'll be 800. We'll do a post, and we'll be talking about those 5 volunteer slots and who, you know, we're able to, you know, who's able to do that and what that means. It's a schedule. You get to have the meal, you get to get some of the hash, you get to be at the event, but there is a work schedule that has to be worked. But there will be 5, I think it's either 5 or 7 volunteers that we have that get to come to the event, that get to be there and stuff. So we'll announce that stuff too. So
they're like manning the booth for the rosin and shit, like doing that.
Yeah, so there's 5 guys that work all the hash, and we already know those guys. They've already done it with us. They've been with us before. So those 5 guys will be at the bar. Then there's 5 more people 5 or 7 more people that are volunteers for the event. The hash bar is run by Angel and Les, which are like 2 of like our best friends that are like the 2 most responsible people we've ever met in our entire life. That's who runs the hash bar, because you have to have somebody up there that's just like an adult. You know what I mean? So they're fucking Les and Angel. Angel's actually the gold behind the whole thing. Angel's the master behind the whole fucking program. So he's kind of the brains, you know.
That's dope. Yo, shout out Louisiana Cannabis Co. I sent you and Isaac, everybody, a message about that thing you emailed me about. So we'll get that squared away right away. I appreciate everything you guys have done.
Brandon will be at Legends.
Fuck yeah. I hope to be friends with Brandon for the rest of my life. Very much so.
I love that boy.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been loving... My favorite shit to dab has been this fucking West Coast Cure rosin, the new West Coast Cure rosin line.
Yeah.
There's a straw Nana GMO fresh press. And it is fucking so good.
And it leans like 50-50, or is it like with the GMO? Like, where's the GMO in it? Is it heavy?
It's like gas. Oh, it's like a bunch of gas first, and then GMO after.
No straw nana?
The straw nana's there, but it's really. Like not. It's more like super gassy.
That's dope. I'm into that.
It's fucking good. What I like is like at a lower temp, it has more of like a soil kind of like fucking, just like great fucking a lot of different flavors, but
yeah,
very good. Very tasty.
Are there any like other than the awards at the end of the second day? Are there any talks during the first night?
Nope.
Okay.
The second day, and technically like the awards, there'll be a like a telecast or a simulcast of Marcus and possibly Dave Watson.
Oh.
So we have like there's a stage, and then there's also a massive projection screen.
Yeah.
So we're going to have Marcus come in, talk a little bit about Legends, address the crowd, thank them all for coming. We're hoping that we can have Sam there as well too. Have both of them come up split screen, do a little something, and then get on with the award ceremony. So
that's fun.
We're doing a Deppy award, so Deppy will be a judge, and then he'll get to do his own first, second, third. Should be kind of cool.
That's awesome. I think he did that at Flame Off.
I think he did it. I think he did it at Best Of.
Yeah, he did it at Best Of. Yeah.
And that was a complete rip-off of Best Of. So
that's awesome, man. Well, I'm stoked for the event.
It's gonna be super fun. I'm excited about, like, the shit that I get excited about is like curating the sponsors for the gift bags, and there's like there's different types of gift bags. Legends has always been very laminate centric. So this year what we're doing is we're going to play with that a bit, and we'll make it where the makers will have a specific laminate, and that means that they're an entrant into the competition, and that they're a maker and a judge. So the makers and any judge will have a special laminate. Every attendee will have the same Legends laminate, but then categorizing whatever type of attendee you are, you'll have a secondary laminate that clips together. So there's 2 laminates there. So we're going a little more heavy on the laminate design, it's kind of a big part of Legends. It's always been like a major like flex from Legends is the laminate. So we're going to go a little harder there, where we're talking about customizing it so we can have the QR code that you use on your laminate, just in case you don't have your phone with you. So there's, we don't want anyone going up to the bar and representing that they're a maker or a judge to the bar, because the one thing that we're going to have is any of the judges, there's going to be 2 lines that you can get into to go up if you just want to go get hash. But then there's going to be an additional line that's just for judges. So that laminate will allow the judge to come up, show that he's a judge. Someone will walk over, help him, because we want to streamline and make sure that they're getting the judging done and getting it taken care of. So, so we put a bunch of little Easter eggs and little different things in there. But super good food. We're going to meet with Fidel next week, I think on Wednesday at Carousel, and have lunch and talk about their sponsorship. But yeah, there's a bunch of just a bunch of cool ass companies coming forward, different friends, people that we know that are going to sponsor it. It'll be super fun, man. The gift bags will be crazy. Yeah, the security that we have is like these retired Navy SEAL dudes that we know that are good buddies of ours that are just like, they're like the chillest dudes ever, but they're total fucking murderers. And they're all like, you can just sit there and talk guns with them the whole entire time, and they're like, oh yeah, I got a fucking blah blah blah. Like, so those are our buddies. So we're super stoked to have them out there. So, and the other reason for that is that we take it serious that there's that much glass there too.
Oh, for sure.
You have quite a bit of glass there, so we just want to make sure that we have the proper security. What's up, Mikey will be there. Who knows what the fuck he's bringing? And he's up at. He texted me. He was up at in Washington, and he's like, hey, asking some questions and stuff because he had just got there. But I know he'll be there at Legends too, so we want to make sure we protect all the good glass. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dropping fucking pearls, bro.
There'll be a lot of fucking glass in that room.
A lot of glass. So yeah, so you got to protect that too.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yee!
Are you doing, is there any music performances or just letting everybody just sesh? I love it.
No, it's going to be, we're going to do Moroccan, it'll be cultural music, like Moroccan, because it fits with the motif of the event. And then we have a DJ that's a Grateful Dead DJ that's going to come in and do just Grateful Dead music at the end, just kind of fucking super chill it up. So
very cool.
Everyone loves the Dead.
Sure, for sure.
If you don't love the Dead, you probably shouldn't be there. That's kind of it's like who can't smoke a bunch of hash and just groove out to some Dead. So that'll be kind of the music that we will have, that we'll be playing, will be the traditional Moroccan and cultural music of Afghanistan and places like that. Then there'll be Grateful Dead. So
that's dope.
Yeah, buddy.
Cool. I'm stoked, man. I think that's gonna be really cool. We should definitely have a room that we can pull guys into to do quick interviews with. I definitely think
we do have some space for that. So there's the other thing that we have that we wanted to add, this is why it took us a little longer on the sponsorship deck, was we wanted to make sure that we had a place for hash breeders. So there's going to be a hash breeders lounge. So anybody that attends the event can go up to the hash breeders lounge. There'll be 5 hash breeder tables in the hash breeder lounge, and you can just probably guess who those companies will be, but you'll be able to go up there and grab whatever from those guys. I think some of them will have some special shit. I think one of them may have just joined. But yeah, so there'll be some cool shit, man. We're looking forward to doing that. So we wanted to make sure that the breeders had a space that we can kind of direct people to, and they can do, they can talk seeds and do their thing. But we added that. We wanted to make sure that we had that component there. If you got this many heads in one room, you got to have some, you got to be able to have some hash breeders in there and be able to sprinkle some stuff around. So we'll have that too. So
are they going to be upstairs where they have to man the, like, is Taylor going to be upstairs the whole time at that booth?
Yeah, so the hash breeder booths get 2 tickets. So they can bring someone that sits at the table while they, you know, go get them food and do whatever. So we've thought of all these little fucking things, man. Like we try to think of every tiny little bit of details as like a vendor, as this, as that. You know, we try to make sure that we're covering as much of that stuff as possible. So it was important to us that the hash breeder booths, which we know how many we have, we made sure that those guys had 2 tickets each. So that way they can be, fucking enjoying the event, but then also have, you know, a guy with them that's working, that's at their table, that's doing their thing there too. So.
No, that makes sense. That's perfect. Dude, that's so awesome. I
can't wait.
Yeah, I'm pumped. And the outdoor area is like just like connected. It's in the same spot it was last year?
No. So it's in the same building, but it's in a much larger space in the same building. So this one's a 400-person venue. So that allows us to put the 250 in the room and have all of our sponsors in there and have all of our staff and everybody else. Yeah, it'll just be bigger, indoor, outdoor now. So it's has big roll-up doors, so you can walk out into the, there'll be booths out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So the only booths that'll be there will be out in that parking lot. That you'll have like outdoor seating. You can have brunch out there. You can fucking dab out there. You can check out the booths outside. There'll be a couple of the like I said, you know, from 3 o'clock to like 6 o'clock, or 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock or something. There'll be like some food trucks that come in, just to kind of let people get a little something to eat later on. So.
Yeah, man. You know it. You got to have the fruit, or which you have, the honey, the fast sugar, the caffeine in the tea. You got to have all that shit, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a smoothie truck and like a kebab truck or something.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
it'd be fucking fire.
Like even when you don't like drink pop, if you take 30 dabs, you might need a pop real quick.
You're gonna need a soda. Yeah, you're gonna need a Coca-Cola just for your system to stay alive. Like,
yeah. So
some people don't realize that it's like you have to have that spike of sugar in order to fucking. Oh, you're done. You're done, dude. Either that or like 600 milligrams of caffeine or something, and then you're coming down after anyway. So.
Oh yeah, no. I've definitely been there at Mothership. That's why they have those caffeine drinks everywhere.
So you know what we can do? I was thinking about it. Last time we had Legends, it was right by Thanksgiving, so we had a bunch of people over and we had a Thanksgiving dinner, which was kind of cool. This one for Legends, what we can do is if everyone's in town, I was thinking we can all go to the beach and do a dip together.
That would be.
We can all do a dip.
I will be in town. I'll be there early. I'm down.
All right, it'll be fun. Anyone who wants to is invited. So.
It's Justin. It's December 2nd and 3rd.
Yep. And then Emerald Cup announced that they're, I think, the 9th and the 10th.
Yeah.
So I think Ego Clash is the week after Emerald Cup. Typically.
No, isn't it always the Friday before Emerald Cup?
Yeah, I guess. So then it would be the 7th?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, because I'm going to sit for Whale at Ego, as long as it wasn't on Legends. So yeah. So that's pretty cool. So I get to go, I'll go back up with Taylor, and then we'll do Santa Rosa, we'll do Ego, and then we'll do, and I'll call it for the year.
Fuck yeah.
That's going to be fun.
That'd be pretty cool. That's going to be quite the extravaganza.
I know I can do it. Doing like the Mothership 7:10 party on Saturday, which was 7:09, then going back up for the 7:10 party, Secret Session Canada, then like my birthday was 7:12, and then fucking doing the 5 days of Moth with all the judging. Like, I pushed my lungs to where I didn't know they could go, and they came back just fine. So I was like, all right.
Man, how different would your life be if you were born on 7/10?
Uh, I don't know if it'd be much different at this point.
Just think of how rad that would be, though. You're so close, like 2 days off being born.
Oh man, I'm 2 days away. It would be unreal, but
that would be pretty rad, actually.
Not the card does.
That was definitely. So, are you excited for Jersey Mike on Sunday or what?
Oh man, I am the fucking resume that this guy has. Like his first dead show at like 12 years old. Parents are hardcore deadheads, and just it's like you were telling me. Like I don't know a lot about him, but like just how he's been behind the scenes in so much of the culture that you pretty much can throw a rock at any kind of story in the culture, and he has a backstory into it. Like it's really cool.
He's like the Forrest Gump of the fucking hash industry.
When did you meet him?
I think I met him at Legends, but we had like crossed paths so many times on different things. We just never met. We just never like met each other. And then he sort of blew up like right before that. Like right before Legends.
Or which Legends?
At this one, at the last one.
Oh, word. Oh, true. I thought you guys had kind of been knowing each other.
I think we met in Oakland. I think at like one of my buddies' grows or something like that. Like we'd met each other before, and we knew who each other were, but we just never really crossed paths to do anything together or whatever. And then when we did Legends, he was Jay, Professor Sif's guest, and I knew who he was, and I was like, oh fuck, he's coming, like fuck yeah. And he was like, hey, I'm coming, I'm gonna bring you guys some paintings. And I was like, all right. And then he came and brought us the painting that I have. You can't smoke hash all day if you don't start in the morning. I have that painting in my living room that he gave me at Legends. I was like, fuck, what the fuck? But yeah, so he's just fucking, he's blown the fuck up ever since too. It's like he's just kind of but he is very, very well connected.
Yeah, and then you told me he's a really good talker, so it's like we can take a lot of dabs and like the conversation. I love that, and I have so many questions. I mean, I'm super stoked for them. I'm super stoked for Mission Hill. I'm super stoked for any the other people that you're having that we're gonna have on, like leading up to Legends. Like the guest list has been pretty cool so far, so I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, no, but we've been lucky to get like a bunch of good people, which has been cool.
Yeah,
it's definitely been a learning experience too. Like, because what is it? You're like, all right, we're gonna talk on this day, and then you fucking do it, and then it's like, hey, what's up? You're talking. It's like that's what you're doing. So it's not much to it really, right? Like, but then there's so much to it.
There's a lot to it.
Like, I'll admit, I don't go back and watch them because I can't. I just feel so weird, like watching myself. I'm like, what the? I said all this stuff. Like, I don't. It's just a weird fucking thing to me. But yeah, for me, for me, my job is to get the person on the show really. Yeah. And then it's like, all right, And what's funny too is I'm such a slow starter. Like, we'll start those things and I just chill for so long, and then I'm like, hey, like I'll just jump in. It's very unprofessional.
But it's so great if you like kind of dig your feet in and like kind of get your hand. I'm like, oh, this is so neat. Like, it really is cool for me, and like I feel like as you get more comfortable like with them, that it'll be like that time will get shorter and shorter, and for some guests you resonate with and some you don't. Like, I had like 50 of these under my belt before we started doing it. It's a little bit different,
Yeah, it's like some people I know so well.
Like the one I'm so interested in, because I know for a fact that you and Scott have a better back and forth than me and Scott. And so that interview that interview, it's like it will be different because like I guess I'll like lead the bare bones of it, but like you're gonna definitely take it a lot more in that one than other ones for sure. Like seeing Scott and Addison together is pretty cool.
We've known each other for a long time. It's definitely like a very relaxed. Yeah. It's more like a I don't even know. It's more like probably like brother. Yeah. Like brotherly kind of interaction because we know each other so well that it's just like, you know, it's like, whatever, fucking, you know. What's funny too is that even knowing him as well as I do, like I don't fan out on him because I know him so well, but I'm still incredibly impressed. Yeah. Like that's what's weird. You know, I'll see shit and be like, what the fuck, dude? Like this is wizard shit. You know, he was sending me pictures of Buck. Yeah. Some shit that they were doing and I was like, what the fuck? Dude, the Jeezy 1 shit that he just did with Rob.
Yeah, I bet it's insane. I bet it's so crazy.
You know, my theory is this. My theory is that because he did this Jeezy 1 series with Rob, now the collab that's at the office that's in the vault
is available?
No, it's going to be available now because there's this. It just belongs with me at this point. That's, you know, it belongs with me at my house.
Yo, you put that out into the universe. It's coming. It's coming to you.
I'll be sitting here. You know, I think I'll definitely have to have that pipe for Legends.
That's a pretty cool pipe. That would be a cool pipe to have at Legends.
I love that pipe so much. I mean, have you ever seen me with that pipe? It just belongs in my hand. It's
bro, I have some pretty fancy pictures of you with that pipe.
It's like built for me. Like when I hold that pipe, it's like, oh, like it's fucking, yeah. Someday. That is the greatest fucking pipe too. It reminds me of this thing.
It does. It is. It's similar. Yeah.
Because it has the sort of same kickback weirdness to it. Like this thing is fucking pure joy, bro. This thing is pure fucking joy. What I didn't notice he did is if you look at the, like, watch. When you put the banger in it, where's the camera? When you put, I don't know if you can see it, but when he built it, the banger is canted forward a little bit. So it actually like cants it forward a tiny bit. It's not completely flat. So it's really fucking cool how it like, I don't know if he did that purposely or if it's just an error, but such quality.
Very, very.
Such a quality piece. What are you up to tonight?
I'm chilling. I'm going to the Yoshinori Kondo show tomorrow. So.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, like there's a crazy drop in town. Like I don't even have to travel for it. So it starts around like 5. I'm probably going to get together with some homies around like 3, but it's dinner. So, you know, just hang out and sesh. But I was getting organized for just like getting shit in order for that Redwood Empire Terp Tour thing that me, Zoom Gardens, and Solventless Viking are doing. Just like organizing stops and, okay, what the fuck do we need and what equipment do we need and what this and that.
You guys are doing it in Taylor's truck?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so nice.
The air-conditioned seats and
dude, it's like a fucking RV.
Bro, it's incredible.
His truck is like an RV.
And like I'm like looking at, I'm like, oh, we gotta drive 4 hours here. I'm like, that'll be delightful. I'm like, oh, we gotta go 3 hours there. I'm like, great.
And he just drives because he's such a crazy fuck that like we just get to chill and he drives. So it's like you can't beat it. It's so nice. Yeah, when I went with him that day, it was like hours of driving, and he's just like drinking chocolate milk and fucking just driving like a nut.
It's so funny when like I never. I'll be the first to admit, and I guess it's like embarrassing to admit, like I didn't know liquid death was water till very. I just always assumed it was like either like fucking I love it now. I always assumed Taylor showed me. Like I always assumed it was either like a horrible fucking energy drink or beer.
No, it's just straight mountain water.
Yeah. I fucking pull up and Taylor's got these things all over his truck. I'm like, what the fuck are these things? He's like, bro, it's water. I'm like, what?
It's really good water too.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm trying to find where I can get it by the case.
Do you know that when they started it, it was a joke? It's like the whole premise of the whole thing is a joke. And then they launched it because they had access to like a cannery, and they launched it and it fucking blew up. And it's like, the whole thing is a joke. It was like making fun of the whole thing. And that was kind of like what's so crazy about the marketing. But it's cool ass marketing.
Yeah, it's very cool ass marketing.
Very smart. All right, I'm going to make a steak, man.
All right, brother. Well, it was great fucking chopping it up with you, and I'm definitely fucking stoked for Legends, and I'm definitely stoked for the show on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. We'll have a blast.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
Cheers, man.
Peace.